dig a little deeper into the conversation that started with Lesley and myself, I made reference to a 2006 article in the Harvard Business Review that they had two, one on corporate social responsibility as a new strategic arsenal. And I didn't mention that, but the second article in that same edition, December 2006, talked about the obsolescence of nonprofits as a sole model for creating change. The article then delved into the analysis, and that's what you get in the Harvard Business Review, about one of the reasons that there's not systemic and meaningful change is because money is going to the same old people doing the same old thing, thinking that there's going to be a different result. And they talked about the complacency, and I may be adding more perspective than was there. So fact check that. But my takeaway was the complacency of the nonprofit model. And remind you now, 2006 was before the meltdown of 2008. But even then, they were saying that the strong adherence to a nonprofit model was actually hindering innovation and change. And that's really what spurred me thinking about, I need to enter this game of being a change leader and a game changer with more than a nonprofit. I started my nonprofit in 2007. I actually started it reluctantly because my team wanted the safety of a 501c3 status. And I said, I have no interest in filling out a 28-page questionnaire for the IRS. However, yielding to my group, I did it, and we did it quickly. So the aging of the nonprofit model as the only way to go is my position. I think that when I encounter new social entrepreneurs in this new young group of people, and I don't mean young age-wise, I mean young to this change-wise, I say be careful about the seduction of the nonprofit model. It sounds very benevolent. I'm going to start a nonprofit. I'm going to do good. And my next question is, until you get to that $1 million level where you have the attention of an EY, because they can't micromanage you, how are you going to get there? And the irony of existence is great resources come to those that are already big. So the HBS has a great community partner program, and I signed up for my organization, and they're like, well, until you're at the XYZ level, some number like $1 million or something, we don't want to get involved. And I was like, but I need you to get there. And so that's sort of the work that I'm trying to corner with, is how do you get from where you are, which is ground zero, to somewhere else where I'm in a position that it makes sense for me to partner with an EY or anybody else who wants scale, because not everything has to go to scale also. Scale can kill your mission. So my position on this nonprofit alternative is, just as they said all day yesterday, have a lot of resources. So one day I am out there with my MBA, making money, talking strategy, trying to figure out a deal flow so that I can find money to get my entrepreneur, my social entrepreneur, on her next journey to Ethiopia. I'll use grants, I will use partnerships, I will use her book, our pitch for a movie. I will use anything I can, because the mission is to get back to Ethiopia to allow her to take the next step. So I'm an outliner. I'm a game changer. The status quo scares me. It just does. It innates me, because as a grassroots, whether it's people of color or women, historically, we're not on the inside. And I can spend my limited energy trying to get on the inside, or I can spend my vast energy creating a new side. And I advocate creating a new side so that we all are on the level playing field that we all strive for.
Absolutely. Bravo. I have seen from my role within the nonprofit sector that it can be a very clunky structure. I mean, it's not just the Form 1023 with 28 pages and whatnot.